Okay, hey guys, it's a new day, not different day. It's a new day, new grace, new favor, new guest. But in case you're just new to this channel, please guys, remember to subscribe. I'm super duper excited for this interview because I waited for 2 years to have it. Not that I was just patient, sitting, saying, okay, I'm gonna no, let's wait for time to pass. No, I kept on hitting him up. Can we have this interview? No, Edna, let's wait for the right time. Guess what? The time is here. The time is now. I'm talking about the one and only. Okay, Dada.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm excited. You can tell from the vibe.
Finally.
How's it going, man?
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's going really well.
Mwishile langa first. How many are you?
Yeah, nangundeneka to the bank.
That's a nice one. I don't want to, my vampire is terrible. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
Wow.
Okay,
now that makes sense. So today, this morning, I was having, flashbacks of the Wiz House days. Do you have such memories as well?
Yeah, I do. Like, off screen we were just talking about how we have known each other 8 years about now, and time flies. I do go back to those days. They taught me a lot. A lot about work ethic, about performance, about acquaintanceship, friendship, life, just a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was talking to Verbo the other day. He came for an interview at my workplace, and I asked him to say, how do you feel when every interviewer, before they start the interview, they ask you about Zone Fam? Like, how does that make you feel as well?
So it's a part of my history that I can't erase.
True.
So I'm not going to go around telling people, don't ask me about Zone Fam. It's there. That's why I'm sitting here right now. I'm open to talking about it and breezing past it. Yeah.
I get it. So let's take it back, like where it all started, Zone Fam. How's life after Zone Fam for you?
Oh, life after Zone Fam has been good. Yeah.
Are you still affiliated with Lota House?
Yeah, I'm recording my album. Most of my albums being done is being done with Mag 44. So.
Oh,
yeah,
nice. And why did you decide to give us the first single produced by Dida?
Man, did you hear that beat?
Oh, hey! Yeah. Oh my God!
I was supposed to drop that song a couple of years ago, but the time wasn't right. So I waited and I waited and I waited. And when I felt in my spirit that, okay, it's go time.
This is the time.
Yeah.
Nice. Before we actually get to the music, let's talk about when you put it out on social media to say, I have finally submitted my life to Christ. What did it take for you to actually put it out there, or just for you to submit your life to Christ?
It took, it was a lot of thought went into it, and walking away from something that was ripe at the time, some people looked at me like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right now, Zone Fam is Zone Fam, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But everybody's, every individual's journey is different. And at that point, mine had to be submitted to God, So I actually wasn't going to announce. Hosters who said, no, you need to announce because the guys need to put out more music. And if the guys start to put out music and you're not on it, the people will start asking questions. So for me, I was just going to start putting out music and just different subject matter. Yeah. But Duncan suggested that we announce, and that's what happened. And it just so happened that it was April Fool's, I think, that day. So.
Yes, and people were like, no. probably they'll just come back and say, "No, guys, we fooled you.
Yeah.
Team is, you know." And how does that line make you feel? Like, I'm still on the same team, Sinika Mapali Saga.
I mean, it's just cool. You know, it's cool. Shout out to Slap. That's my brother right there. Yeah.
Like, I was really taken aback. I was one of the people that was taken aback when you said, wait, this guy is really talented. And not that singing for God is going to like deter you or deter your fans from listening to your music. But then I'm like, he's announced this, but I'm still listening to Team on cyphers. And on R&B tracks. So now I'm confused. I'm like, what direction are you taking in terms of your music as well?
I am going out to preach the gospel. That's what I'm doing. I'm actively going out. Some people, when some people, the only church that will ever meet is you. Right? So, and there's some people that would never listen to me, but they'll listen to Slap. There's people that'll never listen to me, but they'll listen to so-and-so. You know what I mean? And those people need to hear about the goodness of God and the grace of God. You know, so if we agree, myself and the fellow artists on the song, I come and I don't negotiate my stance, and everybody I've worked with respects that. I'm coming on this song to minister. You know, so yeah.
Is that why we hear you on the love track? I mean, look,
there's this conversation around the gospel and love song.
Let's address that.
This conversation around gospel music and love songs.
And also gospel artists working with secular artists, the spin guys.
How can you describe God and not mention love?
God, we say God is love, right?
God is love. So how then are you going to try and separate God from what's possibly his greatest attribute? Right? I mean, we should marry the two. God is love. And he says, love your neighbor. He loves me. Right? And I'm going to express that love artistically in whichever way he moves me to do. So, I mean, I don't understand why people talk about how you shouldn't do love songs as a minister of the gospel. It doesn't make sense. I mean, what are you ministering? The whole thing is about love.
Yeah.
So it's either you're saying about your love for God, the love God has for you, your love for the next person, your love for family, your love for your significant other, your love for your friends, your love for your pets, whatever it is. Right? That is God flowing through us. So other people get to experience the joy and the peace that comes with feeling a love that surpasses all understanding. Yeah.
Nice. So when you decided to take this turn in your life, did you kind of like maintain the same association? Like the people around you, were they still the same?
Yeah, I mean, I've life as you go, as you live, as you grow. Some relationships grow, some don't. You know, it doesn't mean people are bad people or you're the bad person. Some things just run their course. You know, so my closest friendships got closer, and some of the acquaintances fell off along the way. But really, the backbone of my friendships, everybody stuck around.
Nice, interesting. So I've kind of like witnessed people giving the top 5 rappers in Zambia, and your name is usually common on that list. The fact that you don't saturate us with so much music, but you're still in people's minds, what does that make? Like, how does that make you feel? How do you feel about that? What do you have to say about that? Really?
To me, I can't explain it. You know, which is just another thing that really just assures me that God is real. God is there for me, and he looks after me.
Yes.
And there's a mission. I have a mission. He has given me a plan, you know, and something that I have come on this earth to do, and that's what I would do. I don't understand why people differentiate me from the next musician. We do the same thing, right? But I appreciate it. I'm thankful and grateful to God, and I love what I do. I love playing with words and seeing the people take it well. Just gives me that extra boost of confidence.
When did you realize you have this gift in you? The gift to just do music, to speak through music?
Okay, I think I was about... So let's take it back. Hip hop raised me, like many other people from my generation. You know, boombox is playing at night, the lights are off, you're about to sleep, the radio's playing, they have hip hop on there. And the very first cassette tape that I ever bought was DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. And my cousin got, and then there was X, right? So, and those came out the same year, I think 98. So we played those and abused those, and growing up in a home with a single parent, the music or hip hop became a father figure. You know, so the what the rappers were saying in the music is what started to groom me and shape my worldview, shape my view on politics, on women, on love, on money, on friendships. You know, it's only when you grow that you realize what you were taking in, you know, and how much of it you were taking in, because it raised men to be some good men, but also it's not the best parent. It's not the best teacher. Music has been a part of me for as long as I can remember. Outside of DMX, I used to dance quite a lot. I had these Michael Jackson tapes, VCR tapes. Yeah, and I used to dance quite a lot. I still do in the shower by myself and nobody's watching. But yeah, I've been around music for as long as I can remember. I wrote my first rap, I think 13, 14.
Wow.
And that's the first time I got into a studio to record. And it's been history since.
It's been amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know we've kind of like known each other for 8 years, but we don't talk on a regular basis, and we don't really have conversations about religion. So let's assume I'm someone who's not familiar with religion and I haven't had an encounter with God. What would you say to me? Or what would you tell me that would make me draw my attention to God?
The Bible is your best friend. The Bible is there for all the black and white. You know, there's a man I listened to, Dr. Darius Daniels. He said, you have the Bible for the black and white, and you have the Holy Spirit for the gray. You know, so your Bible is your friend, and build your relationship with God on your own. You need community, you need godly community, but let God speak to you. And he can speak to you through his word. He speaks to you through his word to people. But what I've found to be a problem with religion these days is the tenets of religion, right? So the word is supposed to govern doctrine. Doctrine shouldn't govern the word, but that's what's happening these days. You know, you find the Bible says to do A, this religious structure say we don't do A because our laws and our rules that we have set to set us apart from the next religious group say we shouldn't do so and so. But then so then who are you submitting to ultimately? Are you submitting to the word, or are you submitting to the doctrines that have been made by man? You know, and you have people falling into it, and that's why most people just go to church. Kuchongeza.
Kuchongeza.
You know, people don't go to church. I promise you, it's and because it was me. People go to church not because they love God, but because they don't want to go to hell. And that's because, for the most part, the church has taught about hell and about how God is this authoritative, like tyrant figure of like, if you don't tithe, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
You know, if you say this and that, you're going to hell. If you do this, you're going to hell. But Jesus died for every sin 2,000 years ago. Every sin. This is the ones you committed, ones you're committing now, and ones you will commit. And he died for everybody's sin, not just the people in the church.
Yeah.
This is everybody's sin. The person you see in the bar, the person you see in the club, the person you see on the pulpit, everybody's sin, and he loves us all the same. So just I don't like how religion makes church a fan club, you know, like a closed group of like, oh, so we're saved and this is what we're gonna do and we're gonna keep to ourselves. You know, then who are you ministering to?
Yeah, I like what you say, because it's one of the reasons why certain people tend to shy away from religion and God. So, like, how do you think the modern society views God? Really?
Like he is this figure of judgment. And that's because the religion has branded him that way. God is love. Are you telling me someone's going to send his son to come and die for you only to want to take you to hell? It makes sense. You know, it doesn't add up at all. You know, and I think we need to change how we present God to people. It's very important, because people feel like, oh, so God's going, I can't even walk into church, you know, because God is going to strike me and I'm just going to evaporate as soon as I walk into the church. Or the people in the church won't be very welcoming to me because I smell like booze. And it's sad, because we use these things and we look at these things, we judge people using them, right? Yes, this person's an alcoholic and you can see it, right? Yes, they're a drug abuser, you can see it. But you're greedy. You're in the church, you're greedy. You deal with lust, you deal with envy, you're a jealous person, because your issues that you deal with are not as visible as the next person, doesn't give you the right to start looking at the next person. Sin is sin.
True.
If you can sit in the church, right, and be greedy and you're human, look, this is flesh, it's sinful. And this is why Jesus died for the sins that you will commit. We are saved by grace through faith. If you keep cultivating your faith on your own, you think, maybe I should put the bottle down now. As you grow in relationship with God. Christianity is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. You know, it's not like, I'm about to be born again now. Oh, I have to give up this life.
Then you hold your head.
Man, I'm about to be a loser. It's about to be boring. No, that's not it. You know, I'm just, people want to control the narrative because it gives them power.
Yeah. True, and I like the fact that you gave an example using alcohol, because it was leading me to my next question. People tend or seem to judge people that abuse alcohol. So, like, in your own opinion, would you consider drinking alcohol a sin?
The people back in the day, in the Bible times, they mistook Jesus for a drunkard. Okay? That doesn't say whether or not he used to drink, but it just says he wasn't judgmental with who he was around. You get what I'm saying? So I'm in no position to say this is a sin, don't do that. This is a sin, don't do that, because I am equally just a human being dealing with my own issues.
Okay.
You know, so I don't want to get on a high horse and talk down on the next person who's dealing with alcohol abuse. You know, because say I'm dealing with, I don't know, greed in that season, and I look at someone who's drunk and I judge them. From what stance?
Yeah.
In what capacity?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Where did you get your tag? Okay.
I think I was recording once 2010. We must have been recording, I was recording my first EP, October 28, 2010. And
Hypnosis.
No, Hypnosis was 2013 at
Are you
Wiz House.
serious?
Yeah. October 28th was 2010. And I think Jay was recording me and he said something, so I was just like, okay. And it sounded good. So I'm like, wait a minute.
This is the word.
So that's how that came about.
I don't know, for some reason, I think there was a song that Zonfam had released and you're the only one missing on it.
Slow-mo?
Slow-mo, yes. I'm like,
With Ice Prince and Pata.
yes. I'm like, could it be that guy's the weakest link? Why did you make it on that one?
Because see, look, that song was done late 2014. And the guys and I had already discussed that I would exit them. By the time the announcement was being by the time the announcement was being made on the 1st of April 2015, we had already gone through this, you know, already decided, oh, what's the next single? What is this? What is that?
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no way I was going to be on that one. But I was there when the guys were recording.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I can't say okay because the owner is here now. Okay. Lately, before I get to that one, we're talking off air to say, at least those days, I could meet you at events, you know, come together. But then we can't see that guy anywhere anymore.
Yeah, incognito. I don't know. Firstly, I have developed such a social anxiety. I feel uneasy when I'm out in a place and there's lots of people. So I stay home. I stay home. I stay home, go to studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But I mean, I'm still here. You'll see me, right? And you'll get the music now. The music is coming.
Yes, we need the music, please.
Yeah.
And also, I've noticed one thing. You've engaged your fans into mental health conversations on your social media platforms. Where is that coming from?
Having dealt with depression, I know what it feels like.
What
To
period?
suffer in silence.
What period do you suffer from depression?
I've had like stints with depression yearly since like, I say 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. You know, you're always in and out. You do these little stints and, you know, all of a sudden you're staying in bed all day. And this is the thing, you need to learn your triggers. You need to learn how your body reacts when you start to go through things like that. For me, I stay in bed all day. All day, and the day is just going to pass by.
You just in bed.
Yeah, and I know I need to write, and I have so much stuff that I want to write, and it's there. But I'm just like, nah, bro. You know, so coming from that place where I dealt with so many things, so many reasons for having these back and forths with depression, I have seen that it's like the elephant in the room. So many of us suffer from depression. But we all just suffer in silence. I don't know if it's like embarrassing or...
I feel society these days views people, especially guys, that come out and say, I am depressed. It's like, you're weak.
But this is what I've been saying to men now. The ultimate strength is in vulnerability. And most of us grew up being told, men don't cry, boys
True.
don't cry.
Boys
Toughen
don't
up.
cry, yeah.
Toughen up. So where do you let those emotions out? You start to bottle things in. And you bottle things in. And they will weigh you down. From the time you're a kid, they stay. Because what we don't realize is children's emotions are valid. And there are things that happened to you when you were a child that someone else may have thought were insignificant, but they have stayed with you. Or something that they said to you, but it stayed with you. Right? And you've grown up with that. Like, did they really just say that to me when I was 7 years old? Your emotions were valid. And those things start to grow, and they bear fruit in such a terrible way. A terrible way. Men need to show their emotion. You're not a robot. So if you're going through something, please talk to someone. Talk to someone. I've been engaging the people on my socials about mental health and just feeling like, there's this idea that people who are public figures in one form or another don't experience the same human experiences
The regular person.
the regular person, but it's the same. In fact, it's worse because my privacy is gone.
What apart from privacy, what makes it worse for you guys?
For me, just feeling like I'm being pressured, like everything that, and I appreciate it. I love it so much that the people want to hear so much, and that they consider me in the light which they do. But it also makes me very unstable. Because even if I want to just write music, people will start to look at it and analyze it. Or is there a metaphor here? How are these words being played with? Or where's the punchline and where's the, And as a person, for me, it gives me a hard time to really just fully express myself in the way that I want to. Because the people who receive the music just want to hand pick, where's the punchline? Okay, where's the metaphor?
Who's it throwing jabs at?
Take it like the body of work that it is, so it's a lot. Firstly, you don't have your privacy, and then you don't have the freedom to create. It's a lot. There's so many things that come with being a creative person and a public figure. But for the most part, really just you want to be a human being. You want to be a person, and people think like that doesn't happen down here, but it does. You don't have your privacy. It's stripped from you. And that's why I stay home, because there I can have my privacy. And I go to studio,
Is that how you manage to overcome your depression? Through music, just staying?
Godly community.
Godly community.
Godly community. You need people. You need people. I have friends who are therapists. I have friends who are pastors. I have, friends who are just my rocks.
Okay, now let's talk about the music. You hinted to say the album is ready. It's
almost
coming.
ready, yes.
But now let's talk about let's concentrate on your single, Mwishile Banga. Is it on the album?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Why did you seem like you're doubting? Like, yes, it is.
Because I have so much music that I have recorded that I could just decide to not put it on the album to make space for another song.
Oh, why are you holding on to so much music?
Because the time wasn't right. And I mean, it's, this is how I'll explain it. God tells you when the time's right.
Okay.
He will tell you when the time is right. And it wasn't time. There's some times when I thought, oh, this is the time now. You know? But then he's like, so I don't know, meaning I probably needed to learn something or grow in an area or...
How long did it take you to put out Mushide Rang?
I think I had that song for a total number of like 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good music never dies, eh?
No, it never dies. I recorded it on another beat. Dida sent me a beat. And it was banging.
EDM type of beats.
No, this one was like marching band trumpet type. With the 808 hitting, and it was crazy. So I recorded, and we shelved the song, right? Because I'm like, God, I want to put out music.
I think it's time.
Yoo-hoo, just remember me, you know. But as time went on, he messaged me and said, yo, this beat sounds old to me. So send me the acapella. So I sent him the vocals, and then he sent me this beat, bro. I'm just like, what? Yeah.
Nice. And when you're listening to the song alone without watching the visualizer, you think you're asking people to say Mushide Ranga, like how many are you guys? But in the actual sense, you're talking about depression, anxiety, greed, jealousy, hatred. Where did that concept come from?
First John 4 chapter 4. The moral of it really is greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Okay. There's every single day that you wake up, you're going to be faced with a difficulty, just because you're a spirit driving this car made of flesh, and because this is sinful, there are things that are going to try and pull you back, and there's some urges and things that the flesh has, right? So I wanted to address those issues and be like, look, whether it's, and I wrote the song while going through a little stint with depression. You know, so it's like whatever it is that I'm going through, the Bible tells me this, and there's not a single lie in that book. You know? So why am I out here worrying? Because that's not doing me any good. Worry never leads to anything positive. It just drains you. You know? So I mustered up that courage, and I really just want for everybody to know that you have so much power in you. So much power in you, and the enemy tries to make people think that that's not real, or like Jesus is not real because it happened so long ago. It feels like a fake story. Yeah. You know, like something someone created. Why? Because it's been 2,000 plus years. But you need to understand that if you spoke with someone 1,500 years ago about Jesus, or even 1,800 years ago, it would still be fresh, right? And they will explain it in detail. Sam and I were having this conversation yesterday. Like for instance, you have people like Michael Jackson. We experienced Michael Jackson in his glory, right? We were privileged enough to have Michael Jackson put out music during our time, or Tupac, or Biggie. But when I have this conversation with my niece, Michael Jackson is just some guy who existed long before her birth, bro. You know, and if you give it another 20 years, it starts to become a distant story.
Yes.
Then you come and ask someone 2,000 years from now about Michael Jackson, and it'll seem like a fake story. Like, oh, there's this guy who existed.
Yeah, he was black.
And
white.
like he was such an amazing talent and all of these things, it'll seem like a story from just another book.
Do you have the album name already titled?
Yeah, This Is Music.
This is music.
Yeah.
Interesting. How many tracks should we expect?
I'm not
Features?
I'm not at liberty to share that information yet, because the music is there. We just have to pick what's making the cut.
Okay. Are you under new management now?
What isn't? Yes.
Okay. Which is?
Duncan's still part of my management, but then we have other people as well that are handling different things. There's someone handling corporate branding, there's somebody else handling distribution, somebody else is handling social media, and things like that. Yeah, so that I have like a team.
Okay, nice. So team has a team. So I mean, like, you've been signed to a record label, one of the biggest record labels by then. I'm not really sure if it's still Taurus Music.
Yes.
And it looks like now this is when record labels in Zambia are becoming like a hot cake. Should we expect you joining any of these record labels that are emerging now?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You know, I'm just sometimes, and it's hard. Sometimes you want to make decisions that for your betterment, physical betterment, or what seems like physical betterment, right? Oh man, I need to get into this deal because my distribution is going to be sorted and this and that, and this, right? But I only see what's happening now, right in this minute. I don't even know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. It's TI. You know what I mean? But I have submitted entirely to the one who stands outside of time. You know? So it may seem like a good idea to me, but he's looking at 5-10 years from now. And he's looking at even 2 years from now. And he'll say,
not that. Even months from now.
Yeah, don't take it. And imagine you're looking at a bag full of cash. And you're like, and then he tells you don't take it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's building that muscle. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Before I can make any decision, I have to pray about it and fast and hear what God has to say. If it's good, then we go. If it's not, then we don't.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. We are nothing without you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Leave a comment. Share this video. Let us know who you want to see next. Anything's possible. I've been Girl Idiot and the People's Bear. Till next time.